Alright, so it's been just under 2 years since I got my first pocket knife. So I think that in that time I've gotten enough experience that I'm able to make a decent knife collection video and give a short little review of all of them. So what I'm going to do is go through all of my knives that I've gotten in the order that I got them. So that knife is the first knife I got. This one is my most recent. So I guess let's just start. This one is a Hoffman Richter HR-15. It's assisted. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have gotten this. It was like $50, maybe 30. I don't know. I could have gotten a much better knife for that. But, you know, it was my first one, so I like it. It's got this kind of like leafy pattern on it. I don't know if that's what you would call it. The thumb studs, they're kind of annoying because how sharp they are. You can kind of see, instead of it being rounded off, it's like just a cylinder. So it's not the most comfortable if you use the thumb studs. Half serrated, pretty sharp. This is sharp too. I think it's just 440C. Yeah, there. 440 stainless china. And it's not a bad knife, it's just not exactly what you would want for a good knife. I don't know. The scales are titanium. There's a liner lock, stainless steel, of course. So yeah, there's not really much to say about this knife. It's just kind of a basic, cheap knife. Next, I consider this my real first like pocket knife that was high quality. It's a Kaiser Begleiter. It's just, I don't know, it kind of got me hooked on the brand. So I have two other folding knives. These two are Kaisers, and then I have two Kaiser fixed blades. So yeah, this one is just really nice. I like how slim it is. It's really light. You can kind of see in there that the liners are hollowed out, so that makes it a lot lighter. It's VG10. That's a good steal for something this price. It was like $50. I kind of ruined this knife though, because you can kind of see some scratches on it. That's when I tried to sharpen it on my whetstones. It didn't really go so well. Now the blade's just kind of rounded off, I would say. Like it can't cut me. So yeah, if I get a better sharpener, I'll sharpen this up and make it useful again. 'Cause I always will like this knife. It's probably one of my favorites in my collection. Next, just because I wanted the traditional, I got a little buck Texas toothpick. There's really not much to say about this knife either. It's just exactly what you would expect it to be. You know, it works, I guess. It's just a friction folder. So yeah, I don't know, it was like $15. It's good for that price, I guess. It's decently centered. Next, I got this baby blue from, I don't know if it's Knife Kings or King Knives, one of those. Don't know why they called it the baby blue, 'cause it's not blue at all. It's Damascus and a gold color. Yeah, it's nice. I just kind of got it because it looks good. It's not the sharpest thing I own, but you know, it cuts. Again, it's just a friction folder. You kind of see this style in peasant knives too, where you've got this little thing on the end. You can use it to open it like that. So yeah, it's nice. It's got some neat little patterns in it. It's Damascus, so it looks pretty. But yeah, I don't really ever use this just because it's so easy to just like close, and I don't want to close it on my hand. I guess I could hold it like this really tight, but again, it just doesn't take much effort to close it like that, so I'd rather use one of my other knives. Next, so yeah, this was a bit of a jump for me. I went from these knives, which the most expensive one was $52, to this, which was $204. It's a Kaiser Sheepdog. I just was really in love with Kaiser, so I decided I'd get something high-end from them. It's anodized titanium, S35 VN blade. It's I really like it. It's not the most practical knife since it's a cleaver shape, but it's really nice. It's not super threatening, and I like knives that look like that just kind of look more, I don't know, more like art than a murder tool, because that's a big misconception of people who collect knives, that they're all about killing. So, actually, speaking of, that's why a lot of people have a problem with this knife. This is the Kaiser Matanzas, and Matanzas in Spanish translates to slaughter. So yeah, that's not exactly the best taste in names. This one's a really nice knife too from Kaiser. It's basically the same as this one in terms of materials. S35EN. This is titanium, but this also has carbon fiber in it. I really like it just because of how slim it is. I'm really into like gentleman's knives. The only thing with this is that since it's so slim, it's kind of hard to open, because you end up putting your fingers on the liner lock, or the frame lock, my bad, when you go to open it, so sometimes the detent like sticks, but it still has that Kaiser signature smoothness, so it's still really easy to open. Next, I got this from Walmart. It was just like $2, but for what you get, I think that's worth it. It looks really nice. Because of how light it is, it's really hard to actually open. You have to really flick it, because it's so, my bad, it's so small that you just have to kind of throw everything into it to open it. It's just low quality stuff. This is just some cheap G10 and 440 stainless with titanium coating, but you know, I don't think many people buy that. Next, I got this knife. I got this at Fort Cody in Nebraska. So you can see right here you have the stainless, just kind of frame, I guess. Then you have the lock. Then you have another frame. And then there's this stuff put over it. So just the knife on its own, without these things on it, is like $12. And then these made it like $90 more expensive. So, yeah. Might not have been worth the money since it's kind of a crappy knife. But it looks nice, so I like it a lot. Next I got, this is, my bad, I'm looking through the camera, not at the actual knives. This is my Swiss Army knife. I really like it because of just how modern it looks. You can see instead of it being one of those kind of old grandpa knives, it's like an actual modern Swiss Army knife. But it still has everything. It has a saw in there. You can probably not really see it all that well. It's got a bottle opener right here. It's got a can opener right here, and then it has an Phillips head screwdriver and an awl right there. Yeah, so there's an awl right there, and then of course it has the tweezers and a toothpick. And then to close it, it's technically a liner lock, but you have this button here that you push in, and then you can close it like that. So these next 5 knives, these ones, I got them all at the same time, because I bought them all I got them all on Blade HQ at once. So this one is the CRKT Cruiser, designed by some guy with the last name Hammond. Yeah, Hammond Cruiser. Something I really like about this knife is that even though it's like super big, you can see how thick it is. When you open it, it's really silent, which I think it's kind of funny for how big it is. So you like barely hear that, and it's open all the way. So, and it also has this little thing on the back where you can push it up. You can push it up, and it basically turns it into a fixed blade. You can't close it once that's activated. So yeah, that's cool. Next I got this Kershaw Shuffle. I don't really know how I feel about this. I think mine's kind of unique in a bad way, because I think most people can flick theirs open, but mine is really stiff, so I have to open it like that. It's still sharp and it'll cut just fine, but I wish it was a bit smoother. But I guess for, what, $10, I can't really complain. This is a Kershaw Chill. I don't know, I got this one on accident. I ordered a different knife and this one came instead, but I don't know, I won't complain. I like knives like this that are just tiny and slim. This one's like really slim. You can see there. Yeah. The only thing I dislike is that the centering is super, super off. You can see there. It's just got a flipper. It's really easy to deploy. And we've got probably one of my other favorite knives. This is the Kershaw Thistle. It's really, really smooth and super sharp. I like the blade shape too, even though it's black and a little threatening because of that. Just, you know, it kind of looks tactical. I like it because I think the blade shape takes away from that. I think the blade shape makes it look a little friendlier. So yeah, I like it. And then same as with the Swiss Army knife. This one has one of those button locks too, where you push it in and then you can close it. Then we have the Kershaw Injection. This one's nice. I like it because it's so just, I don't know, I guess this is like a poster child of what a pocket knife should be. It's just super basic. It has a normal drop point blade, just a handle without many details except for these. It's just really simple. I like it. The only thing is mine's a little stiff. I wish it was a bit smoother. Sometimes it doesn't open all the way if I flick it the wrong way, but it's good still. Next I thought, well, if I'm gonna be in the knife community, I should probably get an Open L. These are like a must for knife enthusiasts. These are kind of like the Swiss Army knives of France, if that's a good comparison. They have this neat little collar here, so when it's twisted you can't close it, but then you move it over and it'll close just like normal. And then you can close it back again. So yeah, this one's nice. I mostly just use it when I'm like cutting food or something, but it's good to have around, especially it was like $12. I think you should really get one of these even if you're not into knives, just because it's so useful. And lastly, but definitely not least, my first Bestech. It's a Bestech Rhino. I really like it. I like the blade shape. It looks really cool to me. I also like the colors because it's black and you got the gold and silver right there. And this backspacer is blue, so that makes it look really cool. The only thing is if you kind of squeeze it hard, the pocket clip really digs into your hand, so it's not the most comfortable. And also the jimping could afford to be a little sharper. It's just, it doesn't really do much for me. Also the spine is really sharp, but I don't know, I guess your finger isn't really going to be on the spine all that much, so that's not too bad. So yeah, these are all my knives. I really like them. I may make another video on all of my fixed blade knives. These are only my folders. But yeah, that's it.